So we had designed one grappling gun with carbon fiber, and we tried to give it a little bit of a techie look. Shoots that dart out. There's a CG cable that goes out with it. Zack was like, you know, I think that should be wood. He sort of thought, you know, I really like to add some more organic materials. These are some of the weapons that we've used throughout the movie. This is his grenade launcher. He uses this during the mech suit fight. We fabricated this. It's supposed to be a carbon fiber canister. This is Batman's long-range rifle that shoots a tracking device. This is the Batarang of choice for the movie. We wanted some earlier generation, so we decided to make this as well, just to show that there's a transition. He has evolved in terms of his technology.
Zack, he wanted our Batman to be a brutish kind of a brawler.
Batman, when he's fighting, he's in charge. The odds may be against him. He'd be maybe fighting 5, 6, 7, 8 guys at one time. But he's in charge. He doesn't cower to anyone. And although being very strong and very physically fit, he can take you down in a number of ways. And he's very technical. And you know, you see this guy's moves and you see what he can do.
His power wasn't through the armor and the technical details of the suit, but just the brute strength of the man inside the suit.
You know, I got in the best shape that I'd ever been in, and then I sort of got past that as we were going for this idea of like a big, hulking, kind of like thicker bruiser sort of physique, which wasn't like lithe and ripped. It was more like big and brawler. 15 months ahead of time. You know, I was training 4 and then 5 and then ultimately 6 days a week, and it's hard to add muscle to your body, you know, especially at my age. It's tough. And that's what we did. I ended up putting on about 2.5 pounds of muscle a month and really, really changing my body completely.
You could see there was muscle definition from head to toe. He was incredibly ripped. The suit, in fact, it skims the body. You can see every muscle. So it's this incredibly intimidating figure that looks a lot like the way he's drawn in the graphic novel. Even, you know, through the boots, through the gloves, you get this impression of a tower of strength. Zack really wanted it to pay homage to the Batsuits in the graphic novels and comic books over the last 75 years of his history.
Well, the greatest thing about the new costume, I think, is that we have the gray back. Just because we've been armored and black, and it's cool, they've done it. And now the fact that we get to go back to this gray look with the big black bat and the short ears.
Zack really wanted the costume to look like it had been around for a long time, that he'd fought in this costume over the decades. He wanted the sense it was like a battle-worn quality to the costume. So from head to toe, there's wear and tear, there's scratches, there's bullet holes, there's all sorts of signs that he's been out there on the streets for a long time now. It's interesting because the Batsuit may at first appearances seem quite simple and low-tech, but the costume technologies and the thinking that goes into achieving that look are actually pretty cutting edge. We create a mannequin of him, we do the muscle sculpt on top of that, and then of course you have to make the molds, make the positives and the negatives, pour the foam latex, tint the latex, paint the cowl. It's a huge achievement in costume engineering.
The mech suit doesn't really make him stronger necessarily. We don't really show that, but it does. It's more armor in case Superman hits him.
What Zack liked about it is this sort of sense that it's something that a guy has put together, welded, prototyped in his workroom. It's kind of unfinished and raw and oversized and a little kind of brutish, and that kind of worked for our idea of him having to really put everything into this suit in order to prepare to face Superman and feel like he had some chance against this incredible superhero.
Henry will come in and he'll do that, but then it's an over where he goes.
Okay.
Let me tell you, when you're in the rain, up on a rooftop, shooting IMAX, it's not the most practical thing, but we made a determination that we wanted to use the real mech suit. It definitely grounds the fight in reality, and the way that Henry reacts to Ben when he's in that suit, I think is different than if it was just a mocap suit. You know, of course there are scenes because some of the fighting is extremely difficult and you can't move in that suit that much, where we did use the motion capture suit, but we tried whenever possible to go with the real thing.